You're right. I want to talk about something today. Talk about something that's quietly running the show of your entire life. And do you know what? You probably don't even notice it. It's not luck. It's not fate. It's not even your morning routine. It's your perception. That internal lens you're using to look after yourself, other people, and the world around you. It's creating your experiences. All of them. The good, the bad, and the, not this again. So, if you're someone who finds yourself saying things like, this always happens to me, or why does nothing ever work out for me? Today, we're going to get curious about that. We're going to go deep down, because what if those patterns you're stuck in, they're not just bad luck? What if they're reflections of the way you're seeing life itself? Anyway, let's dive in. So, you've probably heard of this word before, but perception is not just passive observation. It's interpretation, storytelling. Two people can be in the same situation, but experience it completely different. And it's based on what they believe about that situation. For instance, right, let's just say two people are stuck in traffic. We all know what being stuck in traffic's like, don't we? But person A is raging. This always fucking happens. Why is the world against me? Person B is calm. More time to listen to the radio or this podcast I've got on. More time to become aware. Same situation, different experience. Why? Because their internal filters, their beliefs, expectations and emotional state shape their perception. And your perception is not just you creating your emotional responses, it's literally shaping the reality you experience. You know, there's a saying, isn't there? Like, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. And it's so true. So your perception is it acts like a magnet, pulling everything in, which brings us to something you've probably heard before. Like attracts like. It's not just the law of the universe, it's psychology. If you walk around believing people are selfish, guess what you'll see? That's right, more selfish people. And not because they suddenly exist more, but because you've tuned into that frequency. You've tuned into that perceptual frequency. It's called confirmation bias. The tendency to see what you already believe. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. It's constantly scanning the world to validate your existing beliefs. Did you know that? So, if your internal dialogue says, I'm not good enough, you will start to see evidence everywhere to back that up. You'll notice rejection, overlook compliments, and misinterpret neutral situations as judgment. But on the flip side, if your eternal story is, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm worthy of good things, suddenly the same world starts feeling a little friendlier, a little lighter. You'll notice opportunities and synchronicities you used to ignore. You'll engage with people more openly, and you'll attract different experiences. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Your lens of how you see the world did. So yeah, like attracts like. But not in a magical thinking way. In a very real, very human way. Anyway, let's talk about this phrase. It always happens to me. You probably know people like that. You might even be like that yourself. You ever said that? When the job doesn't work out, when the date goes shoo, when the plans fall through again, it's easy to start believing you're cursed, unlucky or broken. But let's reframe that. What if, and stay with me here, what if it keeps happening, not because life is punishing you, but because you're unknowingly caught in that loop? A loop created by the stories you tell yourself, by the beliefs you absorbed for years ago and absorbed from years ago and never questioned, by the way you interpret events and react to them again and again and again, always the same. If you believe people always let you down, you'll start unconsciously picking people who always let you down. If you believe you're never chosen, you'll hesitate to put yourself forward and then feel unchosen all over again. And you know what, right? That's not your fault. It's just what an unexamined perception does. But the empowering part here, right? Stay with me here. You can interrupt that loop. I've said it before, I've said it again. You can interrupt that loop. You can catch yourself in the moment and ask, why does this always happen to me? What am I believing about myself or life that might be attracting this situation, this circumstance, these people? Because every repeated pattern is trying to get your attention. There's a powerful saying as well, and you've probably heard it, as within, so without. The mirror principle. It means your external reality reflects your internal state. Your outer world mirrors your inner world. If you're living in chaos outside, constant judgment, worry and fear, your outer life tends to reflect it, doesn't it? Have you not noticed that? It'll reflect it in some sort of way. Stressful relationships, burnout, confusion. But if you create peace within, you'll notice how your external experience begins to soften. You handle challenges differently. You act calmer. You attract calmer people. You make clearer decisions. And this is why your inner work isn't just a luxury, it's essential. Changing your life doesn't start with controlling the outside world. It starts with transforming the way you see the world from within. You change the lens and the entire picture shifts. So, you might be asking, how do we start? Start noticing your repeated stories. When something happens, ask, how am I interpreting this? What belief is fueling this reaction? And then I want you to question the belief. Is it really true? Or is it something you picked up from someone else? Something that once protected you but now actually limits you. Just choose a new lens as well. What would it look like to see this situation through compassion, through possibility, through curiosity? And you know what? This isn't just a one-time thing. It's actually a daily choice to wake up and decide. I will not be a passive participant in my life. I will choose the lens that serves my growth. Because when you do that, you shift your perception, which shifts your belief, which changes your actions, which transforms your life and experiences. So, I just want you to do this. Next time you catch yourself saying, this always happens to me, or I bloody knew it, I bloody knew they'd be like that, pause, breathe and ask yourself, what's going on inside that might be creating this outside? Because you're not a victim of your experience, you are the author of it. And you can rewrite this story anytime you feel like it and anytime you're ready. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, the outside world will always reflect the inner world, the world within you. So tend to that inner world, change your inner state, and that's where the real magic begins. Anyway, until next time, cheers.